Good morning, my dear students, class 7. So, today we will be discussing the second session of history, chapter number 3, the Delhi Sultanate. Okay. So, in this session, we are going to discuss about from garrison town to empire and how the expansion of Delhi Sultanate they had done. That everything we are going to see in this session. So see, my dear students, in the early 13th century, okay, Delhi Sultanate ruled. That rule in India started with the establishment of various dynasties. Okay, it has started in 1206. Okay, so which dynasty has started in 1206? If we see 1206, Kutubuddin Aibak, so Turkish rule. Okay, that dynasty has had been established of Delhi Sultanate. Okay, so their control was limited to the fortified towns, which dependent on the area beyond the supplies. Okay, so when the areas on the outskirts refused to trade supplies, the rulers often plundered. They plundered their own regions to obtain the supplies for the fortified towns. Okay, so all the sultans controlled the hinterland of the cities and hinterland means the land adjacent to a city or the part that supply it with goods and service, that is called hinterland. So all that sultans controlled that hinterland of the cities and they were dependent upon the trade on their all that sultans were dependent upon that trade. Okay, so controlling on the garrison towns under the reign of Ghiyasuddin Balban, Alauddin Khilji and Muhammad bin Tughlaq, the control was expanded over all the fortified towns and the areas surrounding them. So during 1296, if we see the period during 1296 to 1351, if we see this period, the period from Alauddin Khilji's reign to Firoz Shah Tughlaq's reign. Okay, so in that period, the sultans conquered the external frontiers, external areas, and control of the sultans had reached to the South India. South India, where they added elephants, horses for their armies. Then they captured slaves and also they collected precious metals from the conquered regions. So during these campaigns, the forests were cleared in Ganga, Yamuna, Doab. Doab means the place between two rivers. So they cleared the forests between Ganga, Yamuna, Doab, as well as the hunters, gatherers and pastoralists expelled from their habitat, means the hunters, gatherers and nomadic herders exhausted, expelled from their forest, and this land was cleared for farming and distributed among the peasant. Okay, for the agriculture. So they promoted alongside and for the new trade routes. Okay, they had developed for new fortresses and towns along the way. So as people were following Islam, had from different backgrounds, so the rulers built many prayer areas like mosques. Yes, the mosque is called masjid in Arabic language. So literally a place where Muslims prostrates in reverence to Allah. So in a congregational mosque, or we say masjid-e-jami or Jama Masjid, Muslims read their prayers or namaz together. So members of the congregation choose the most respected learned male as their leader. We say imam. Yes, for the rituals or prayers. He also delivers the sermon or khutbah during the Friday prayers. So during prayers, Muslims stand facing Makkah. In India, this is to the west. So this is called the Qibla. The Delhi Sultans built several mosques in the cities all over the Indian subcontinent. These, what it suggested, it demonstrated their claims to the protectors of Islams and Muslims. So mosques also help to create the sense of the community of believers who shared a belief system and a code of conduct. It was necessary to reinforce this idea of a community because Muslims came from a variety of backgrounds. Yes, they come from the different backgrounds. Okay. So now my dear students, I hope that you have understood from garrison towns to the empire. So in the next session, we are going to see a closer look to the administration and the consolidation under the Khaljis and Tughlaqs. Okay. So till that, bye. See you.